Hello there, and welcome back to my playthrough of Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I'm Aunt Dee, and we're about to get started with Sam delivering the special alloys to F1.
Feels good.
Let's see what that is. So I think I have to use the monorail and go back to that other place, Westnot, and deliver the alloys.
Transported by the monorail has been placed in your private locker. The cargo can be delivered via the terminal.
you actually manage to restore the monorail? Awesome! With it back up and running, you'll be able to transport materials from the mines. Right. Sorry. Let's take a look at these materials you brought. Would you look at all this? I think it's safe to say we'll have nothing to worry about for a while. We've made some great strides in our research thanks to you. If it's all right, we'd like you to have this. Just wanted to let you know that we're increasing the amount of materials you can withdraw.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Oh, here's a little something extra as thanks. I got them just for you. Figured they'd suit your style. They sure weren't easy to come by. A real collector's item, I hear. We really appreciate your help. At the risk of stating the obvious, it's going to take an awful lot of resources to restore the other roads and monorails to working order. But at least with this monorail operational, you can bring us large shipments of materials with relatively minimal effort. That's going to go a long way towards getting other sections up and running again. We can fabricate pickup off-roaders now, by the way. I'm pretty fond of them myself. It's a large four-wheel drive vehicle, boasts significant cargo carrying capacity for the hard-working porter. The driver's seat is in an elevated position and exposed by design. This allows the driver to survey their surroundings more easily and engage enemies with small arms if necessary. You can customize it quite a bit too, attach all kinds of different parts as you like. That said, a lot of parts are still in development, but you'll receive their data as soon as it's ready. The schematics for this vehicle have already been shared with everyone on the Chiral network, which means that we can look forward to other people drafting even more new parts. Sure, the monorail network was extensive and once stretched across a good chunk of Australia's coastline. But repeated exposure to timefall has seen it degrade significantly. And with the constant threat of BTs and armed groups, it's not been possible to repair the damage. If you happen to come across a track layer, be sure to feed it any materials you can spare. Even a small contribution will make a difference. Anyway, just something to think about. We're so grateful for the assistance, Sam. You've been a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day.
You managed to save the day, Sam. The people here now have more than enough supplies for their needs. They should be able to prepare cargo for the next delivery too. But first, I have some information to share with you. About Lou. Return to the DHV Magellan so we can talk.
Order completed. Well done. Feels good.
Compensation services now available.
Thank you kindly. Came in handy. Thank you kindly.
Hey, Sam. How's it going? I have updates for you, if you have time.
I take it you've learned more about Lou?
We followed up on the message Deadman left for you at the lab. About how there was another BB-28, not Lou, who, according to the records, was decommissioned 4 years ago. The first time you and Lou met was about 2 years ago now, when you were entrusted with the BB previously issued to Bridges Corp's disposal. And together, the two of you made it all the way across North America.
Deadman and everyone else at Bridges, they all called Lou BB-28.
Right. Because that was Lou's serial number. You see, we found the records for the BB storage facility. By cross-referencing the data, we confirmed that after BB-28 was decommissioned 4 years ago, Lou was assigned the same designation and placed into storage.
So what you're telling me is that instead of getting a new serial number, Lou inherited an old one?
As for Lou's mother, following the C-section, it seems she passed away. And that, pretty much, is the extent of our recent discoveries. Without a still mother to provide support, it makes sense that Lou was kept in reserve. But we still have no idea who approved the serial number reassignment, much less why they did it.
Higgs said there were things I didn't know. Maybe this is what he was talking about.
I think it could be.
I want to know everything about Lou.
You're playing his game, Sam. Chasing after the past is what Higgs wants you to do.
I need to know where Lou came from. I have to know.
If you're sure, Sam, I'll keep digging. In the meantime, you should get plenty of rest before your next mission.
Sam, it's Charlie. A new order is now ready for you. I'd also like to brief you on your next destination. And I believe that Fragile wants to have a word as well. Visit the delivery terminal in West Fort Knott to take on the relevant main order.
Sam, it seems Tarman decided to leave a few books for you. Right there, by your bed. Reading is a wonderful way to take your mind off things. Trust me.
Okay, I think I will take a little look at the corpus for a second here to see if we can catch up on a few things. I mean, I know what they mean by certain things, but it may be a little bit more difficult for me to explain them than to kind of look at some of the terminology that they're using. They do throw a little bit less at you as far as terminology in this, and they do explain things a little bit better. The first game threw you in there and it gave you so many words all at once about different things that were happening. And it could get very confusing. I adopted the attitude with it of just going along with it until I knew what was happening or I could read about it. Okay, so Lou is a bridge baby, a BB, and they can sense the BTs and stuff, but they're unborn human babies that are removed from their, sadly, brain-dead mothers after 7 months of gestation. They're placed in pods that are like a womb, and then they are connected to the beach, which is kind of an area between life and death, and they're put in these pods for porters like Sam to use so that they can sense the BTs. Okay, and this is about Lou being a bridge baby with that serial number. Fragile is able to sense BTs a lot better than Sam initially was. He only could sense them, but she could see them. And that's having a level of dooms, what they call dooms. Okay, this I did not know. And it helps reading these things that she has these hands that belong to someone that's not of this world. They talk about the ha and the ka, which we can look into too. Amelie was a character in the first game, Sam's sister, and she was forever doomed to be on the beach. She was an extinction event, but along with Sam, she kind of pushed back the extinction event. But Amelie was really part of Sam's mother, Bridget. The ha and the ka again, which I'll look up because I'm sure I can't explain it as well as they can. Higgs is the big bad guy, and he wanted to help signal the extinction event. But now apparently that isn't his goal. He wants to rule all the bad guys. Okay. Dooms, again, is that ability that differs from different or person to person. Those are the facilities. Let's see. What's the story? Looking for the ha and the ka. This is just orders. Maybe it goes through here. Okay, that's the beach. That's the area that exists between this world and the other side, again, between the living and the dead. Tar is that black stuff, not technically tar. Okay, we saw plate gates. Okay, the death stranding is a phenomenon in which the dead cross over from their world and are stranded in ours, becoming known as BTs. So they're sort of ghosts, but not really ghosts. They're literally the dead people, I guess you would say. Still baby syndrome is a phenomenon in which fetuses stop growing at 7 months. No still baby removed by cesarean section has survived the procedure, and there's currently no treatment for the syndrome. Those babies, I guess, often become the BBs. The ha and the ka. After the death stranding, death came to be defined as the separation of a person's ha from their ka. It's said that this understanding of life and death was already commonplace in ancient Egypt, where it was believed that even as the body wasted away, the soul lived on forever. Egyptian practices of mummification and preserving corpses in sarcophagi were done in the hope of allowing the dead to live on in the next world. Following the death stranding, however, it has become necessary to dispose of a body once a soul has left it, usually by incineration. If this is not done, the departed soul may return to this world in the form of a BT. It's believed this is due to the death stranding, altering the balance between the worlds of the living and the dead, and unbalancing our relationship with the beach. Although this doesn't really explain Ha and Ka. And I know I can't explain it really well. Let's see. Yeah, the death stranding is the so-called sixth extinction that will lead to the eradication of humanity. The final stage of this process is known as the last stranding. Still mothers are brain-dead women whose unborn children are used as bridge babies. They're kept alive by life support systems at Bridges HQ and retain a mysterious connection to their children even after they are removed from them, which sounds pretty sick. I don't see an explanation of the Ha and the Ka, but it may be in the original game explained much better, or it may be an actual thing written about in ancient Egyptian texts. So I'll try and look that up and give a better explanation, because I'm not sure if one is kind of like the soul and the other is the physical manifestation of a person. I'm just throwing that out there. I can't remember exactly what it is. I believe one has to do with the soul.
That's Tarman's son. He must have placed the photograph in here for safekeeping. This is an important memento. Why don't we go and take it to him?
I found this picture in your book. Is this your son?
Thank you. Yes. He's still out there somewhere, borne along on the currents, with this right hand of mine. It's due to my connection with said missing piece that I can read the movements of the tar. Something akin to a phantom pain. You want to hear the story?
Sure.
I was both a medical doctor and a geophysics researcher once upon a time. In those days, the tar currents were a key focus of mine. This ship was originally built to facilitate my studies, in fact. The deep tar hunting vessel Magellan, we named it. A ship perfectly suited to pursuing the creatures that thrive in the tar's depths. Another avenue of research, you might say. We called them chiral mammals, for lack of a better name. Seemed like the closest fit. Reckoned if we caught one, we could figure out all the mysteries. The tar, the tides, hell, maybe even the stranding.
Whoa, she's a big one.
Strip yourself in, son.
Tar's looking calm. I'll be fine, Pop. You seeing this? I think she's pregnant. Hey, Pop. This is weird.
Stop! And just like that, the tar took my boy, and my hand along with him. At first, I thought this little guy was my son reborn.
If I may ask a question, the hunters that attacked you after you caught the chiral mammal, are you sure they came from within the creature's womb?
Yes. That said, I'm not of the opinion that the hunters were its offspring.
Its womb merely served as a gateway to the other side.
Indeed. The tar and the beach are connected.
So I did look it up, and the ha and the ka do somewhat represent the physical and the spiritual or soul of the body of a person. The ha is more or less all the physical parts that make up a person, and the ka is that spiritual aspect or the soul. Just some information that kind of bugged me earlier on, that I never explained that when they were talking about the ha and the ka. But that's just one aspect of the game. There's just a ton of different terms that it goes through. Anyway, we'll carry on.
I've known Tarman for quite a while now, but that was the first time I've heard him speak about his son in that fashion. It made me wish that I could do something, anything to ease his burden. But setting aside those feelings, suppose that cat of his is in fact his son reborn. Why does it treat me as though I'm a threat? Does it just hate me? Reincarnation or not, perhaps it's still a cat at heart. That sure looked good, Sam.
Extraction was successful. It was transferred to a sterilized pod and sent to a separate facility. Ready to proceed with corpse disposal? 1.
Thanks for the help. This one's for you.
next destination is the Northern Environmental Observatory. Like its Western counterpart, this observatory is a critical facility that will help us to monitor the changes taking place in the Australian environment. To bring it online, you'll have to navigate the canyon to the northeast of your current position. But before that, you'll need to link up another site en route.
Sam, the next site we want you to link up is called Rainbow Valley. A friend of Drawbridge is waiting for you there. Once the network connection has been established, they'll be joining us on the DHV Magellan. I recruited them myself when we first met in the UCA. You can pick up the order from the delivery terminal. I'm looking forward to seeing you both. Thanks again, Sam.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.
Order accepted. Thank you. Feels good.
So I think that'll do it for this time. The next time we'll start here and we'll head out on this delivery through the canyon. Looking at the map, I may encounter some BTs. I kind of wanted to avoid them only because I'm in this truck and I want to see how that goes. First of all, I don't know what the terrain's going to be like, but it might be fun to go after some of those BTs and see what we can do with them. Some of them, they get scarier as you go along, and I have to admit, I get a little bit freaked out by them. I don't know why. They're not that bad, but when they start charging after you, that kind of scares me a little bit. So anyway, we'll start back here next time and see how it goes with this delivery. Thanks again for joining me. Take care. Bye.